Gurudev, the core philosophy of Sanatan Dharma is rooted in acceptance. As Swami Vivekananda said at the World Parliament of Religions, he said, we believe not only in universal toleration, but we accept all religions as true. I am proud to belong to a nation which has sheltered the persecuted and the refugees of all religions and all nations of this earth. Gurudev, I'd like to start by asking you that do you believe that this philosophy of acceptance has been the driving force behind India's boundless potential and can be the driving force behind its future limitless growth?
Yes, there are two types of acceptance. One is a passive acceptance. जो हो रहा है होने दीजिए. But there is another type of acceptance where you accept in order to act. Sanatana Dharma stands for that type of acceptance which doesn't let you lay back or be complacent, rather be dynamic and look forward. When you accept what happens, your emotions calm down, then your intellect becomes sharper to act. That's the beauty here. We always say Sanatan Dharma. I always say, in Hindi, I say that which is Puratan and Nit Nutan, that which is ancient, at the same time new and very adaptable to situations, to events, to people and geopolitical situation, retaining its original flavor. That is Sanatana.
So just to take this forward, this relates also to how our society is, how our country is, how we have been as a people.
Yeah, see, we can never become fanatics.
Yes.
Fanaticism begins when you shut down your intellect. You start questioning. You start pondering. You put a lock on your intellect. That's when fanaticism begins. Our country has never been fanatic. We have always encouraged free thinking, original thinking, and honoring the roots at the same time.
So, Gurudev, in our country's history, there have been many challenging moments. We have had foreign invaders, we've been colonized. If I were to ask you this, that what brought us to that point? And now we are 75 years beyond shaking away the yoke of colonialism. How will our religion, our essential belief, what is in our culture has been given to us through generations, take us to a point where that never repeats itself? And if we are not as a religion, as a community, if we are not passive, how did that happen onto us?
Arnab, I can say it in one word.
Please.
It's infighting.
Infighting.
Infighting. If there was no infighting, if people were united, this would never have happened. Just a few hundred British soldiers could never have taken. A few hundred Mughals would have never have won this beautiful country. We were fighting. All the Maharajas were fighting. They were all embroiled themselves in their own little world. They never saw beyond their personal comfort to the comfort of the country. And those, like Maharana Pratap and Shivaji Maharaj, Sambhaji and all, they were being cheated and backstabbed by their own people. The history has told us many times. There were many Jaijans who rose up and for their petty benefits, for petty selfish goals, and they didn't care for.
Or is it that we lost touch with our own spiritual and cultural roots, which made it easier for us to become colonized?
Of course. A big vacuum was created on that as well. The religious leaders, spiritual leaders, instead of bringing spirituality to people, they waited for spiritual leaders, people to come to them, to their own places. So, you see, that was one time, but when the country is going through a tough time, it's a need for religious or spiritual leaders to go to people and provide them. See, in a very wealthy society or well-to-do society, people go to hospital, but sometime when there is a disaster, doctors need to go to the camps where people are. In the same way, spiritual leaders, instead of holding themselves just with rituals, they should have gone out and approached people and comforted them from where they are and encouraged them, instead of making them passively accept, जो हो रहा है होने दीजिए, सब भगवान देख लेंगे. This type of attitude has also been a blot on our history.
Is that why you travel so much? You're living out of a suitcase. You're always reaching out. Gurudev is always talking to large numbers of people. And sometimes I ask him, what are you doing? He said, I'm just speaking to some people. And then someone sends me the picture of the number of people he's speaking to. Once I spoke to him, I said, what are you doing, Gurudev? He said, I'm speaking to some people. And then someone who was next to him showed me, I think it was in South America, the number of people he was speaking to, and it's just incredible. I think this reach out is so important, Gurudev.
নানা ধরনের কন্টেন্ট দেখার জন্য লাইক করুন, শেয়ার করুন আমাদের ফেসবুক পেজ, সাবস্ক্রাইব করুন আমাদের ইউটিউব চ্যানেল, পাশাপাশি অন্যান্য ব্রেকিং নিউজের জন্য অবশ্যই চোখ রাখুন রিপাবলিক বাংলায়।